a smoke detector in my house, but I just had one. I have a 1,600 square foot house, right? Last year, I bought 2 of these Samurais, and I gotta tell you, they are awesome. We, Danny's been cooking. Sometimes he gets home late, and about 4 months ago, alarm went off, and I'm like, what happened? He had actually left something in the toaster oven, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And it was the Samurai that gave us the alert, all right? I'm telling you, these things are priceless. I love them for a variety of reasons. First of all, they've got that amazing sensor inside, so whether it's smoke or fire, whatever it is, it's gonna detect it for you. And guess what? You're gonna get 3 of them. There's nothing to wire. So you don't have to worry about getting a screwdriver out and trying to run a line or anything like that, all right? These are totally self-contained. Each one has a 10-year battery in it. So think about that. You're not gonna deal with what's the worst thing? The chirping, right? When you gotta change your batteries, and then you run around and go, which one is it? And if you're a senior, you're getting up and down ladders to try and change that out, you never have to do that. Everybody gets a 3-pack. All you do is you just pop them on the wall, wherever you want, okay? Joe's gonna tell you exactly where you can put them for them to be most effective, but you're gonna get 3 of these. So maybe you don't have one in your finished basement. Maybe you don't have one in your finished attic. Maybe you don't have one in your laundry room, which is probably one of the best places to have one. Even today, we're also offering a 2-pack of the carbon monoxide detectors. Those are brilliant for the kitchen and for a place where maybe you have a dryer, a gas burning dryer. You want to make sure you have them. But the 3-pack of the smoke detectors are the best deal we're going to do all year. Now, normally these are $75. Today you're going to get them under $50. They're $49.99. Each one has an 85 decibel built-in alarm. All right? Instant home protection. And I mean, here's the thing. If you just have 1 in your house or 2, and you've got a decent size, that's not enough. You need to have these in every single room. And that's why we do them in a 3-pack. Now, normally you could go out, and I think I was watching last night with Adam. You get 1 of these things, they're like 30 bucks just for 1. We're doing 3 for $49. Instant makeover. And now you can sleep well at night, and you can feel good about it, all right? And there it is, there's a single. I can't even read it. What does it say, $29.99? Right here at HSN. We're doing the 3-pack. Joe Harrison is here. He's our home expert, electronics expert. I know he's got family, all that stuff. He loves his family just as much as you and I do. But Joe, I think even like for seniors out there.
Oh, yeah.
Like my mom, right? She has a living caregiver, but she's 91 years old. And what if she, forgot to unplug the coffee machine? What if she left something in the toaster oven? I don't think there's a smoke detector in their kitchen. Oh. They maybe have one in the living area because it's open. It's an open plan.
Sure.
But in my opinion, you can't have enough of these.
Yeah, absolutely, you can't have enough. When you look at the cost, the breakdown, it just comes down to $5 per year for the next 10 years to give you protection, the latest generation of protection, because so many of us have these big, bulky ones, and the technology in here was designed in the 70s, and as the years went by, they said, okay, we started needing more and more, because back in the 70s, it was 1 smoke detector for the entire house. Didn't matter how many rooms you had, but today, you need to have one to be your house to be code is to be up, have a bedroom, a smoke detector in every bedroom. You have to have a smoke detector in every hallway leading to every bedroom. You have to have a smoke detector in every major living space. Just add up the rooms that you have in your house between the bedrooms and the living rooms and living areas, the TV rooms and the family rooms. If you don't have enough smoke detectors, this will be the best time to give yourself the next protection, and it's maintenance-free protection. Because when you have this, you're going up and down that ladder every 6 months to change out the batteries because the batteries don't last.
And they're expensive batteries.
Expensive, so expensive, but you have to constantly go up and down. With this one here, when you first get it at home, you'll see the battery's already there. That is a 10-year battery, tested and certified to make sure it will last 10 years. Then once you go ahead and mount it, all you have to do is you hold down this button. That's your 85 decibel alarm. That is a super loud alarm that you're going to hear in the back of the house, to the front of the house, to the basement, wherever that smoke is. But Guy, this one here, you know what's common for? Those false alarms. You're trying to get a good night's sleep. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you're just, it's beeping. You're like, let me take it out. The batteries are out. But then you forget it's even there. You forget that it doesn't have a battery. With this one, it's 10 years.
I have, now let me check, because I have 2 of these, right? That's kind of the unit that I have in the great room.
Sure.
It was setting off false alarms, and this is God's honest truth. You can talk to my son Danny about this. I had the fire department at my house 4 times last year.
Oh my gosh.
And finally, and I'm like, what is it? And I wasn't burning anything. And so I had the alarm company came, and the guy came and he goes, it's shot. He goes, the sensor shot on it. He goes,
no
it's reading false signals. And I felt, I mean, listen, I knew the fire department by their first name. That's how bad it was. And the only reason they were mad is because they loved the dog when they came over. But I mean, I felt so terrible about it. They got to get dressed up. They come out to my house. And it's because I had one of these, which you have to replace the battery in. And not only that, my brother's got these old school ones up at the house in Vermont. He's got 3 of them there. You never know which one's chirping.
Right.
And every time I go to visit, one of them is chirping.
Well, that's the big difference. Is like these are constantly chirping, constantly being annoying to you. So you take the batteries out because it becomes an inconvenience. With this one, why is it different? It's smaller, but this has advanced photoelectric sensor. This one has what they call an ion sensor, older technology. That's why you get the false alarms. That's why when you take a hot shower, this will go off, but this one will not. The one from Samurai knows the difference between steam from your shower and actual smoke that is in your house. And it's that loud 85 decibel sound. I keep setting off because it is unbelievably loud. That's what you want it to be. When you're sleeping in the middle of the night and something's going down in the basement, when you're in the middle of breakfast and then there's something going on the other side of the house and you're busy, you want to be able to hear that alarm. You can easily do it. Now, we talked about codes for 2024, one in every bedroom, one in every living space, one in every major hallway leading to those spaces, also one right outside the kitchen. The other thing I highly recommend you pick up is we have a special offer on our carbon monoxide detectors. This is really bad because they call it the silent killer because you can't see it, can't taste it, can't smell it until it's too late. And the common symptom for carbon monoxide poisoning is you feel like you have the flu. You just feel like you're a little lethargic. You go to sleep. Unfortunately, people don't wake up, and it's becoming one of those things where it's more prevalent because anything that burns, anything that generates heat, especially this time of the year where we're bringing space heaters in, we're cranking that heat, we're running fires in our house, in that fireplace, it's all generating carbon monoxide. And right now, our houses are fortresses trying to hold that heat in where you're not letting the house breathe, you're not letting that carbon monoxide out. So I highly recommend if you're picking these up today, the smoke detector, also pick up the carbon monoxide detector. The code for 2024 is 1 every 700 square feet or 1 for every story of your house. So it makes a great thing here. And it also has the photoelectric sensor. It's going to last 10 years.
And the carbon monoxide duo is also on sale. And you saw the price on there too. So honestly, it's good to get them all. I mean, I hate to say it, we don't like to scare people too much, but think about it. I mean, one event can change your entire life, right? And I mean, forever. And you can't go back, right? So this is a way to be able to protect you, protect your family, protect your pets, right? Protect your property. I mean, think about it. And all you, this is the install, all right? You peel back, you put that classic, amazing 3M sticky tape on, and that's it, you're done for 10 years. All right, Joe always says about a foot from the ceiling. That's really where you need to put it. And if you've got any of those things Joe talked about, if you've got space heaters, if you've got if you've got fans, if you've got a dryer, and everybody's washing their clothes and drying them, right? All those things can be potential hazards to you. Obviously, we know the stove can be and the oven can be. So if you know who buys this, I mean, honestly, smart people, right? People that are like, listen, I don't want to lose my house, but more important, I don't want to lose my family. I don't want to lose my dog, my cat. I want to be able to protect it, and I want to sleep at night knowing that I've done everything I can. I mean, you know, Joe, if you don't have adequate smoke alarms or carbon monoxide, it's like leaving your front door open. When you go to bed at night, you're taking a chance.
It really is, especially when you start thinking about like, how much is protection for you? Are you nickeling and diming yourself to think, I don't necessarily need that? You absolutely need to have a smoke detector. That's the scary thing is a lot of us see the price and it becomes overwhelming, or you think about the maintenance that's needed. This one right here, this is like a little HSN Easter egg. This has been sitting here for over a year. It's small, it's compact, it's got that 3M adhesive industrial tape. This will be here for the next decade until the HSN Sets team redesigns it all. But you didn't even notice that of all the shows that have been here, that just sits there. That's the great thing about the design. It just blends in and you don't even notice it. But we have it in our entryway here because it's a hallway that now leads to the living room. And when you think about the living room, you definitely need one here, because this is where we gather. This is where your family, your friends sit around. Maybe you're talking to the kids about school. This is where you sit, and you need to have a smoke detector. That is there to make sure your house is safe. Then you go to the next room, the family room, where you have your television. Now, a lot of times, this is where we have our electronics. We have another one that is mounted right here as well that's been here for a while. You don't even know that it's there, but when it detects that there's something that's going on, it's that loud 85 decibel alarm that will wake you up, that alert you from the other side of the house, to give you that first warning that it's time to get out of the house. So if you're thinking about looking around right now, sitting in your living room watching TV, and you can't see your smoke detector, you need to have better protection for your house. It used to be one smoke detector for the entire house. As the years go by, guys, these can't have enough type of protection, and this is the easiest way to really do a whole house makeover.
Yeah, and honestly, if you can put one in your garage too, because if you've got a car that you're parking in your garage, it's a good idea to put one there. And again, whether you decide to get both, I mean, I think it's a good idea to get 3 of the smoke alarms and a couple of the carbon monoxide detectors, because the smoke, you may have a tendency, may get lucky enough where you can smell some smoke and you can do something about it, or you can get the heck out. But with the carbon monoxide, there's no warning. There's not a human sense that knows how to detect. It's totally undetectable, carbon monoxide. So unfortunately, by the time it does what it does, it could be too late. That's why I said, both of them is the best 1-2 punch you can get. These are only $57.99 for 2, which is very competitive. They're usually closer to $100, about $50 a piece, and you're getting them about half that price. But get them home, all right? Your home is your castle. I mean, think about it, where you raised your kids, where you've lived with your partners all your life, and you want to protect it. I mean, you wouldn't think about not having insurance on your car, right? Or locking your car when you go to the mall or something like that. It's the same type of thing. It's just taking that extra step. And I will guarantee that I would say almost every person who hasn't purchased these before that's watching us probably does not have enough.
Oh, for sure.
Because we do our research, and it's like most people out there do not have every single space accounted for.
Yeah.
And you have to, especially a lot of us who are doing the finished basements or the finished attics, and we're doing a lot of that work without contractors, just moving things around. Right. And you're bringing things in there that can create smoke. You're bringing in things that can create carbon monoxide. What are you doing about detecting it? Hands down, the greatest thing ever created on Earth was the fact that these have a 10-year battery.
Oh, I love it.
Because Joe has he's a bowl of batteries over here.
It gets expensive.
And these little transistor batteries are expensive. But the problem is, you never know when they're going to die.
Right.
And you know when they do finally start chirping, it's usually the middle of the night.
Yep.
And now you're on a ladder trying to figure out which one it is. Right. And then, have you ever tried to remove this thing and try to unscrew it and put it back? Any of you guys are? It never goes back on.
No, it never does.
And then the screws come loose.
That's the problem. And if you had 3 of those and you had to replace them every 6 months, over the course of 10 years, this is what 10 years will look like in batteries. And I know everyone's a little bit different. Here in Tampa, this cost me $97 for 10 years worth of batteries. And then keep in mind, you're putting that $97 into 1970s technology. So you just keep putting new batteries into old stuff that's really not offering that type of protection. This one here has a new sensor with a 10-year battery, that new advanced sensor. It's the latest on the market, so it gives you that ultimate in protection. And we keep talking about 10 years because FEMA, the U.S. Fire Administration, say you have to replace this every 10 years. The reason why is there's a sensor that's on there, whether you have the old style or the brand new technology. Over 10 years, it starts to lose its efficiency because it collects the dirt, the dander, the debris that's in the air. What do your air filters look like after 90 days? What does your countertop look like if you don't wipe it down? All that dust is collecting in there. It's gonna be great for the next 10 years. So technically, it's better for it's beyond 10 years, but they recommend you change it every 10 years to make sure you have the safest house possible. Because Guy said it perfectly, it's what's in your house. It is your family, it is your pets, it's things that you've collected over the time. It just takes a split second for a fire to just wipe everything out. Or if you had that first warning to let you know something's going on, let's let you give you that opportunity to really have a safer home.
Yeah, and if you have an older home, I would definitely recommend these, especially for you, because older homes they're not always up to code. You've got aging lumber inside those homes that dries out, and it's going to be much more flammable. You want to have that early warning. And listen, Joe and I are not telling you to cancel your alarm company's thing, because if you want to have a connection to the fire department, that's fine. What we're saying is that's not enough.
The more protection, the better. Absolutely.
That is not enough. I want to know instantly. I don't want to wait until the smoke travels 75 feet to a room, because by then it may already have turned to flame.
Well, you talked about how putting in the laundry room. Laundry room is not a code where they'll build a new house and put it. But how many times have you heard about a dryer catching up from the lint in the lint fires, or in the basements,
or the basement,
or in the garage? So many places, that you have these opportunities for fire, but it's not required. That's why you can never have enough of these smoke detectors. And when you see this, when you take this apart, when you first get this at home, there's a little tab that's on there. You pull that tab, that starts day one. You will not have to change this battery.
It's a big battery.
It is a huge battery.
Yeah.
It's designed specifically to last 10 years. Once you go ahead and mount that down, that's it. You've done it all. The only thing you have to do instead of changing the battery every 6 months is you hold it down, a test pattern. It'll run through that loud alarm system. You hear that 85 decibels. It gives you that alert, so you know everything is functioning fine. It'll also flash at you periodically, so you know that it's also working as well, so you can take a look at it. But for me, my story was, I was down here at HSN when I just moved down here. My wife was about 25 minutes away. She calls me up. She's like, I smell something. Something's burning. She calls the fire department while I'm on the phone with her. They show up, and they found that there was a wire that was melting inside the wall. That plastic was melting, and it was started to smoke. My smoke detector that was less than 15 feet away was not going off, because the house I just bought, it was over 25 years old. It had the original smoke detector there. So if you have a new place, a new apartment, a new condo, wherever you're living, don't trust the person before you that they put in the latest generation. A lot of times you go to the store and you just buy the builder grade because it's cheap, and you're like, it gives me that protection. It's not. This is what yours looks like. It has 1970s technology, has something called an ion sensor, where it gives you constant false alarms from a hot shower to even sometimes a windy day. This has the latest generation, that photoelectric sensor. It's not gonna go off on a hot shower. It's gonna go off when there's smoke, when there's flames, when there's danger, and you hear that loud 85 decibel sound. But also make sure that you're protected. One needs to be in every bedroom of the house, every major living space, in every hallway. That's just the start. But Guy, you can never have enough protection to keep you and your family safe.
It's do it yourself, all right? And that's really what I love about it. There's no fees. You don't have to pay any company. You literally get these home, you pull the little tab, and you stick them on the wall. Or on the ceiling, wherever you need to put them. That's it. You instantly are able to equip your house and get where you need to be. And like I said, and there's no wiring. All right, and they are literally a fifth of the size, yet they pack the punch. All right, you're gonna get the exact same protection. The only thing, like I said, is they're not connected to fire department, but if you have that already, and you're like, is that enough? It probably is not enough, okay? Most people, it's not enough. My mom lives in a condo. I look around. Condos are a little bit different because they all have to be up to code, but still, she's got to replace the batteries.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's not one out on the porch.
Right.
And you never know where a fire is going to start. So think about your attics, think about your basements, think about maybe you've put an addition on, right? I mean, think about all those different things, and you can instantly take care of that. And we're talking about, what, $16 a piece? $16 a piece. We normally get, what was it, $30 a piece for these. So they are almost half price today. Now's the time to get them. And if you think you love them now, wait till you get to the holidays, right?
Oh, yeah.
Next year, where you got lights and all that, so you're worried about your electronics,
tree fire. Oh, yeah.
all that stuff. And you can see over 9,200 people have already picked it up. All right.